Hello everybody and welcome to round number 1 of the SLR T2 League here today, and we are here under the lights at Bahrain for what is the season opener of this T2 League. We've got 16 drivers here today, all competing for top honours for pole position. Currently on board with Nadia, using all the tracking a little bit more, going around the final corner. I apologise in advance for no T1 stream. It wasn't because I wasn't here, it was more because the drivers wasn't here, and hopefully we can do something about that for next week. But we're going to focus on the Tier 2 action today. I'm Nene47, commentating for you. On board with Nadia, who's going for a second lap, I believe. Get some of the graphics up for you guys. On the super soft to begin with. A few of them might go medium tyres, but to begin with, we've got the super soft. Currently, we've got Jasper Barneveld on pole position. We're 25.4. So, yeah, very quick time indeed. A couple of attempts off his Raymouth. Matt Noah a little bit off that. Same with Berra. And everyone else is struggling except for that. We are heading through the middle sector on board with the Red Bull of Nadia, and it looks fairly solid so far. He's improving by 2.4 seconds, which will put him low 26s, I think, but he's invalidated his lap, so we'll ignore that. Robbins is pitting. We're expecting a few of the slower guys to go with the medium type, but this should be a very close qualifying. There's quite a few guys here who could challenge for pole position. On board with Sancho is one of them guys. Was unavailable for the pre-season test. And we're heading through the middle sector now, and we'll see what time this AlphaTauri can do. He's locking up a little bit, so he's losing a little bit of speed, scrubbing the tyres in a way that he wouldn't want to. But we're going to come across that to finish his lap. He's not going to run out of ERS. Looks to be okay on this track. Opening the DRS and will across the line, and what's he going to do? It's a 26.1, which was in P4 on the grid. Also got O'Brock starting a lap. Coming into the pits. Got Spendler out there on the medium, same with AJ. And we've also had somebody improve. I think that was AJ go up to P6. SLR Lightning is also on a lap. The Italian. Oh, and he's had a little bit of a spin on his reset track, which you're not allowed to do, so that'll go probably to the stewards. I'll probably voluntarily put that to the stewards when this is a league owner, to try and stamp that out pretty quickly. The McLaren of Skin Up is starting his lap. Anybody quite far away round is Parish just finishing his lap. Wasn't very good though. CYP's coming into the pit lane. AJ's going fast, but I think he's starting a lap rather than finishing one. Got quite a lot of people on an outlap at the moment. 9 minutes to go of the session. Currently Jasper is on pole by 0.2 of a second with that 25.4. I think a 25.0 was the T1 pole from earlier. A solid time from him. Robbins is starting his lap in his Mercedes. Got Skin up there on a lap. O'Brock's on an out lap. And so is Mustang. I'm just looking at that Alfa Romeo. So next person to cross the line will be the McLaren. The beautiful McLaren, by the way. Coming around the middle sector now. And will he be able to make anything of this? He's going purple, but I don't think it's purple overall. It's purple personal best. And seeing as he hasn't had a best, I'm not expecting him to challenge that pole position with medium tyres at the moment. He's going to crawl across the line with a 27.7 off Skinner, which puts him in the top 10 P9 at the moment. Got a few people coming to the end of the laps. We've got SLR Lightning. We'll stay on board with him. Adir's just starting a lap. There's an Alpha who's slowing down. And one of the Haas drivers as well. But here goes Lightning to the line. That puts him P8. Matt Noah is coming to the line. Will he be able to improve on his time? No, he's 7 tenths down. I think he's just doing a medium run, pacing himself around. As Welper has retired from the session. And we've got Sanchez on a outlap. We've got an Alpha, the other Alpha of Mustang who's invalidated his lap. Who's that Haas? Who's that Haas? Is it Raymouth? Raymouth is quite the way round. He's going purple, so he's improving on his time. So this is looking promising for the Haas. Will he be able to challenge that pole time by Jasper Barneveld? We'll have to wait and see as he comes around the final corner now. Third gear and then a little bit of fourth. Gets a bit of wheel spin on exit. But we'll see what he can do across the line. Is it going to be a 24? No, it's 24.2 though, which is 2 tenths up on Jasper Barneveld. And that puts the cats amongst the pigeons as the Haas puts it on provisional pole position. We've got Jasper going a little bit up, well, he's nearly 2 tenths up. He needs a little bit more time in that last sector to beat Raymouth's time. It's going to be very, very close. But these two seem to be the class of the field at the moment. And on board with the Renault, will he be able to prove he gets a lot of wheel spin out of that last corner? And he's going to come across the line. Will he be able to beat it? No, he doesn't. He's just over a tenth off. There's lots of people crossing the line as Berra improved there by a tenth of a second, but he needs to find another second on Raymouth's time. And the McLaren's coming in the pit lane of Skin up. Well, there goes Mustang. We're in a little bit of a pirouette into the off track. But it seems like everyone's coming in for their last run. I don't know if anyone's out there on runs. And maybe CYP's out there. I think he's coming back to the pit lane though, especially after that hairpin. And also AJ. He's on the soft tyre, going for it. I've got the best times on rather than fitted. No, they are on laps. But AJ has got a purple middle sector. I don't know if that's purple overall or just personal best, but I think it'll be personal best. Coming around the final corner now, will AJ be able to get himself further into top 10? Yes, P3 for AJ. 4 tenths off pole, whereas CYP only got to a 26.3. So he's 1.1 seconds off at the moment, CYP. So a long way off. Only top 5 are within a second. Matt Noah did his fastest lap on the mediums. So we're waiting to see what everyone can do really. I think Sancho was just crawling around to the pit lane. Those are the Williams. SLR Lightning is a little bit out of kilter with everybody else. So he'll be the next person to come around to start a lap. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. He's gone on the soft tyre. So this will be his first representative lap, really. I'm expecting him to get in the 25s. But we'll have to wait and see on this lap. Here comes the Williams across the line in his last few runs. He's probably going to do 2 runs, a slow one in between, unless this lap goes particularly badly. But going into turn 1, braking about the 100-metre board, probably just before where the curb starts. 3rd gear, and then you're just powering down as much as you can in the speed. You carry more downforce, all that sort of stuff. Into this very difficult right-hander, a little bit unsighted on exit. But you've got to find the apex and keep it as tight as the apex as you can to improve. He's nearly 6/10 up on his time at the moment. And no, I'm not going to show you Robbins a lot because he's only just started and he's on mediums. And yeah, we'll carry on with this lightning lap. And on the back straight opposite, or perpendicular to the other straight. And he misses the apex by a little margin, but manages to carry the speed. He's going to lose about a 1/10 by doing that. But yeah, it'll all add up in the end. He's got a personal best middle sector, is 1.1 up, so he's going to get himself in the 25s. But how was his last sector on his lap? On his last lap, it depends, really. And he gets it nicely in. Not a lot of wheel spin. That looks fairly good on traction. He's going to come across the line. What's it going to be? 25.6 puts in P3, just behind the top 2, 4/10 off pole position. And rightly so. I think Robbins is the next person to do his lap. He's only 6/10 up on his time though. He's really struggling, 1.1 in fact. And that'll only just about get him into, well, it'll be mid 27, and he's backed off already. Anyone else out there on laps? They're all on cooldown laps. Jasper has just started his lap, and his final lap as he looks up into turn 1. I think he's going to give it up already, surely. No, he's going to carry on. It looked like he lost a lot of time into turn 1. Didn't really find the apex. As we head down into turn 3 now. Finds it quite nicely. Gets on the power nice and early. Purple first sector is a 10th up in fact. It looked like he lost time. Maybe that's just the spectator cam. It's very difficult to say. But at the moment he's on course for that pole position. But it'll be only just, and now he's backed off. He locked up into that hairpin, so he's going to go for that last run. He's got time, but only just. Got Matt Noah's 2/10 down on his time at the moment. Lightning's pitting, so that's the end of his qualifying. Berra's starting his lap. We're on board with Nadir, who's invalidated his lap, and it's going to be touch and go if he can get round. Parrish is starting his lap. And we also have Robbins, who's in the middle of his lap. He's got Nadir for dirty air in front of him. So we'll go on board with him. Skin up retired from the session, by the way, as we're coming to the climax of this qualifying session. We're on board with Robbins, and Nadir is kind of in the way, but he's going to get a nice slipstream down the straight. We'll be able to get in the 26s. 26.5 on them medium tyres. And now we're going to find somebody else to go on board with. I'm going to go on board with Berra, who's out there on a lap at the moment. He's the furthest one round in his racing point. Gets it turned in nice and smooth. Coming into this final sector, will Berra be able to challenge at the top of the order? He's 3/10 up on his time, but that's not really enough to do a lot about Raymond and Jasper Barneveld. It's more in the Sancho is maybe P5 at the moment, but here goes Berra around the final corner. Obviously finished P2 in last week's pre-season race. What's he going to do today? He's going to get P4 in the end of qualifying provisionally. We've got AJ coming round, and Raymond, who goes even quicker with a 24.8 And what a lap that is. Half a second quicker than anybody. Here goes AJ with a 25.4 basically. We've got Jasper, the only person that can really challenge for pole position now, and he's not really improving, definitely not by that amount. As he comes around the final corner, will he be able to do anything about that time? No is the answer. He improved by 10th, but it's not enough. And the only person out there is Spendler, who's invalidated his lap, and that is the end of qualifying. And what qualifying by Raymouth to take that pole position, a 24.877. And he's decided to show his hand here, and he looks the favourite for this race. That is for sure. Easily taking pole in the end. Jasper was his closest challenger, closely followed by AJ as well. And they're the top three, and then kind of everyone else behind. But I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't get very good laps in there, judging by the times. Mustang has chosen a wrong setup. This is an excuse. And there's a lot of complaining in the chat, especially about lapped cars, people on outlaps, etc. So Jasper may have been held up a little bit, but 4/10 is the gap. So yeah, we'll have to see what the race pace is like. Obviously, race pace is slightly different to qualifying pace. And we'll hope that someone can close to Weymouth, but it's a good start to his season. About 3.5 tenths is the difference in the end. And he's making up for what he missed out on last week. And he's taking that pole position. 3.5 tenths the difference between Jasper and Weymouth. We've got AJ P3, SLR Lightning P4, Berra P5, Central Wiz P6, Matt Noah P7, CYP P8, and then that's the top 8 in the soft runners. Robbins qualifies on mediums P9. He can probably count himself. He's only qualified one soft runner, so I don't think he'd be particularly happy about that. We've got Spender P10, Nadir P11, Elbrock P12, Mustang P13, Skinnup P14, Parish P15, and Welper P16. So that's a bring back to earth moment for Parish, who won the pre-season race, and you find him all the way down there, 3.3 seconds off the pace, and didn't really ever get a lap in, I don't think, judging by that. But yeah, it should be an interesting race. We've got a few people coming through the field, but this field is actually fairly close, and it should be fairly exciting. So as everybody picks their setup for this Grand Prix, what's your predictions? Put them in the chat, and I'll read a few out while we wait for the time to come. Doesn't look like anybody's got any predictions. But yeah, it should be a fascinating Grand Prix. There's so many people that could actually win this race, so I'm not going to predict anything, and I don't want anyone to say I'm biased or anything towards anybody. But Weymouth is in the prime position, but he'll have a long way to go to get towards turn 1 in that lead. With a bit of slipstream or a better getaway, Jasper is in a very good position. Same with AJ, the two Williams drivers look in a very good position. We've got Berra P5, Sancho Wiz P6, Matt Noah P7, TRP and P8. I mean, what could he do? He's a bit of an unknown quantity in this league. He's never raced in Tier 2, but he's now. And we'll see what he's capable of. But really, the majority of the drivers can win this, and it's telling us that we're going to do a two-stop here. Dicing and Arbitra, we'll check the tyre strategy and see if anyone's gone hards. No, well, they've basically gone what they've gone in qualifying. Everyone outside the top 10 is on mediums. Robbins is on the mediums. He's a little bit higher up, so he'll be slightly happier with that. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be on. But I'm expecting a one-stop to be the call of the day. I'm not expecting any two-stops. I'm expecting the hards to come out. Possibly. Might be talking absolute crap, but there we go. I didn't watch the T1 race at all, so I've got no idea. And I didn't watch any of yesterday's races either. But yeah, we'll have to wait and find out. But the game has predicted two stops. On previous games this has been a one-stop circuit, and here we are for the first time we've been here at Bahrain for the opening round of the season since season 3, and we'll remember how that went along. And we go into 5 red lights, and they're all out, and away we go. And we've actually got going straight away this time. Weymouth getting a little bit of wheel spin off the start. As you can see, the Williams is already pulling alongside. Jasper has also struggled, and the Williams is in the lead. AJ has taken the lead of the Grand Prix already with Weymouth P2. SLR Lightning's also got a lightning start into P3. We've got yellow flags into Sector 1, and yeah, that's a very good start from both of the Williams pair. We've got Berra P4, Jasper in P5, followed by the 2 Alpha Tauris of Sancho Wiz and CYP, with Spenler in P8. Robbins has had a shocking start, got himself down into P9. Matt Noah's had a bit of an incident with an Nadir, it seems, because they are well off the pace, but no safety cars. And off we are racing, as Jasper is already trying to get past Berra again, but is unable to really make anything of it. As we head towards the front of the field, and the Alfie Jensen is leading this race, with Weymouth having a shocking start into P2, SLR Lightning P3, Berra P4, and then Jasper in P5. We've got the worst start of everybody, really, and really struggled to get off the line. Went from P2 to P5, and he's coming under threat from Sancho Wiz a little bit, as he's pushing Berra along quite nicely. He's braking a lot later than Berra is. Going along the straights, we're getting another predicted pit stop strategy. As we head down into turn 1, will Jasper be able to take that off of Berra B into turn 1? Ooh, Jesus, that's late on the brakes if ever seen it, but we get away with it as we head down into turn 3. And we're not getting some very good camera angles here, but Weymouth is already back in the lead. Wait, where's AJ gone? AJ's in the lead. Oh, it's screwing me over again. Oh. He's still in the lead, you spoons. Matt Noah is not leading this race. He's last. Right, we're back to normality, I think. And Jasper is definitely looking at Berra, and he's very keen on that P4. He wants it back. And he's got a lot of work to do to work his way back to the front of this field. This is a track where he can overtake, but he's losing a lot of his overtake point right now, where Berra's saving his. Probably wise about that. So a few more laps and then Jasper will be struggling on that overtake, whereas Berra's got quite a lot to use. So he's playing it strategically. And also the DRS will help other people along, especially Weymouth, who wants to get back in the lead of this race as quickly as he can. But SLR AJ is leading, followed by Weymouth, SLR Lightning, NSX Berra, and then Jasper Barneveld, who's fallen back from Berra in that last corner. And yeah, we're all within a second. We've got CYP at the back of this in P7. Actually, Spenler just in behind, and O'Brock. So we've got a bit of a train going off. Nadir's back in last again. P16 with Robin's P14, and he's had a bit of a shocker. As Jasper is doing more of his dive bomb techniques, he kind of goes offline and then puts his nose where he can see it. He doesn't quite get side by side. If he gets side by side, then Berra's in a bit of trouble. But he's using a lot of his tyres through locking up, it seems. He's got a bit of DRS now. We've got an incident in Sector 2. Let's see what that is. Could have been Matt Noah, I don't know. It was only a small incident. If it was. There's Jasper locks up again. I don't know if that's just a spectator cam. But he's definitely in range now. And Berra isn't even using his overtake, whereas Jasper's going to run out at the end of the straight. We've got an incident in Sector 3, and that's CYP. Had a bit of an incident, but he's got going again. We're going to go on board with Jasper and Berra. Berra's going to defend with his overtake. Jasper's going to run out of overtake by the end of the straight, but he's going to recover it. And he's got ahead of Berra, but Berra's got lots of overtake too. He's round the outside, he's off the track. Oh, and he's round. He's in the wall, but he's going to carry on. And I think Jasper should have left him a little bit of room there. Because Berra is now last. I mean, I'll have to have a look at it again on the old replay. I've got it on my computer. Into turn 1, Berra gets to the outside of the track and is squeezed out while he's side by side, and then he gets a bit of a tank slopper on into the side of Jasper. But I think he was entitled to be a bit of a racing room there. Don't know if he expected it. Welper's up into P7 by the way. Brock P6 now. But he's quite lucky not to lose any front wing. He went in backwards, which is the best way you can go in, let's be honest. But Berra now down in P15 with CYP going into the medium tyre, going for the 2-stop. Raymouth is still closing in on AJ, who's leading this race. And he's got ERS and DRS, and lots of it, and AJ's gonna, well, he's not going to be in P1 for much longer, as he tries to head it round the outside, go for the switchback possibly. But Raymouth has got a lot of ERS to use to defend with now, so that's him up into the lead of the race. SLR Lightning is keeping up but not really challenging as AJ gets very close to the Haas, but no cigar, just a lot of smoke. As Nadia gets a 3-second penalty, as the field is starting to spread out a little bit. Welper and Parrish have, I think, just switched places. Parrish is now ahead of Welper, and I'm pretty sure Welper was ahead of Parrish. The two Ferraris. Got Skin up in behind in P10. It was 7 tenths off Robin. Robin's has found his way back in the top 10 due to people having crashes. So he's coming back at people. But all the medium guys are in a different race to the soft. They've got to wait for the soft to fall off, as AJ has got half a chance at Raymouth here. He's stayed with him, to be fair, and he's going to retake the lead of this race, it seems. SLR Lightning is starting to get interested in this battle as well. Or F1 MD Cairo, as we used to know him. There's Matt Noah and Spenler going for a bit of a battle, and Matt Noah's got past Spenler for P11, so not in the points yet. Also Mustang and Nadia as well. There's contact. There usually is contact where there's Mustang about, but they haven't really came into big contact, as I'll try and get a better view there. Mustang on the inside, Nadia on the outside, and Mustang has managed to get the position into P13, looking towards the lead battle. the front three. We've got AJ, Raymond and Lightning going into the end of this middle sector on lap 6 of this Grand Prix. Lap 6 is 29. And Raymond is keeping very close to AJ. I'm just waiting to see if the undercut will come into it. How long can these softs go? I'm expecting them around lap 8, lap 9, around that. So probably a little bit longer. As AJ feints toward the pit lane, but Raymond is gonna go past as the hard 2-stop strategy is open, but the 1-stop's a couple of laps away, I think. And Lightning is keeping interested, but not getting involved. Kind of just biding his time as he runs a little bit wide. Jasper's got a 3-second penalty and is struggling to keep up with this lead battle as Sancho whizzes pit from P5. And here we are with Mustang and Nadir, and Nadir's got past Mustang. As we've got an incident in Sector 1. Is that CYP again? No. I don't know who that could have been. But Barry's getting interested in Mustang and Nadir at the back end of these guys. But the DS training is working quite well for the top 3 at the moment. AJ is the king of penalties. I'll see if he's actually picked up any. No, he's only got 1 warning. And the only one of the top 3 has actually got a warning. And AJ's doing another cut as he comes into the pits, which means Lightning will pit on the end of this lap. Same with Raymond. Lightning's going to get DRS because of the detection point. He's got to find a bit of pace on this lap. This is his hammer time lap. And where will AJ come out of all this? He's trundling down the pit lane. Nadir, Mustang and Berra will go past. And he's going to come out behind Berra. So I think he's got a lap or 2 of clean air. He's gone on the medium tyre. So he's going for the 2-stop. Whereas Jasper's going for the 1. Who's also stopped. Sancho has also gone for the 2-stop. And he's going to try and make a move on Jasper right now. But he's unable to do that at the moment. And he has to stick him behind. But he's going to have better grip on them mediums. That's for sure. That's interesting. We've got a few different strategies going up, the 2-stops and the 1-stops. And I don't know how much you can gain through the 2-stop or lose. But add something different. So I'm expecting AJ to pull away in this initial stint and get the lead back. Raymond will have to try and keep within the DRS, I think, of AJ. I'm expecting the other Williams to go on the hard tyre. But you never know. We'll see what Raymond does. And oh, that's late. I guess it slowed down and gains a lot of time through that. Oh, Brock carries on. Obviously the medium runners. And we'll see where AJ is. He's coming around the final corner now. And I think he might get the lead back. As oh, there goes Barrett. And he's out. And is that a safety car? That was pretty hefty from Barrett. He's on the inside wall, we'll have a look there. Beautiful camera angle on him. There he is. And that's him out of the race. We've still got yellow flag. And oh, Sancho is. There's a VSC. Now, that could work for some of the medium runners to go on the hard tyres if it's available to them. AJ got ahead of Raymond by 4 seconds. So the undercut has worked an absolute treat for AJ. I know he's on the faster tyre now, and probably was then. But this VSC has come to a close, and Jasper has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. As Nadir and Mustang are going at it again for P6 now. Obviously these two get to pit on them medium tyres. But yeah, AJ's got out of his DRS range and now he can really start to plod along and make an advantage. And that's what he has to do, because it'll be very quick at the end of the race. That's more he's going to be where his gaining is. On either another set of mediums or the soft tyre. He needs 2 or 3 tenths a lap as these two are really going at it. Got the Red Bull on the inside, the Alfa Romeo on the outside. And it looks like Nadir's going to get this for now, but for how much longer? As Mustang gets a penalty for going all over the curbs. And he's trying it to the outside of Nadir. And he looks up a little bit. But he's gonna make it work. He's got the grip out there. And Nadir has to sit in behind Mustang, and that is him up to P6. AJ is now joining the battle, and he'll have to make this short work of these two. But the problem is Nadir has got DRS, and so has Mustang. But I would suggest he's quick enough to get past. Just needs a bit of an exit. SLR Lightning is also on the medium strategy. This isn't many going for hards at all. And to put into context where Jasper is now, he's behind Spengler on the same strategy. As AJ is already making his moves. He's made one move and he's going for the other one on Mustang. He's pushed him off. Mustang's gone through the gravel. he's just destroyed Mustang. And Nadir's got past him. And that could be a penalty, I think, as the first of the medium runners are pitting. As Robbins is changing his front wing. And I just can't get over that, as Nadir is trying to get past AJ, but that'll be a bit of a stupid move. They're on different strategies. And SLR Lightning has got past Raymouth, but obviously on contrary strategies again. Raymouth knows that though. Just keep within the DRS. Don't really need to fight it. But AJ is up the road now by quite a bit. And now he's got a bit of a gap to push into. 6-second gap between him and Skinner. And there's only a few more laps to go on these medium tyres. Lap 13 I think, or around there. And AJ realistically needs to overtake all of these guys to win this race, because he's obviously got pit again. He's basically on the same strategy on the 8 lap younger tyres. And SLR Lightning isn't pulling away in the way he'd like to. He wants to get out of that DRS. Sancho Wiz is also on the medium compounds, also picking up a penalty. Matt Noah's gone for the mediums as well. There's Welper pits for hards, and that'll be one less car AJ has to deal with. Nadir is also in the pits, and that's a Williams 4.5 at the moment. And he's Raymouth is still within that second of Lightning, which is interesting. 1 second. Sorry about that, I've got a few messages. And O'Brock is coming into the pit lane, so giving you a little bit of a race rundown. I'm just answering a few questions from a few people, and as soon as the T3 race is following this, I'm struggling to keep up. We've got Raymouth, who's still in DRS of SLR Lightning. SLR Lightning is actually catching AJ, so he's struggling a little bit, but it'll be on them. It'll be a lot quicker on the back end of next stint, but I think they're underestimating the power of these hard tyres at this point. Well, AJ and Lightning are, and so Sancho was. I mean, O'Brock's gone to the hard tyres, and I think theoretically he's on for a P2. With Parrish and Welper in behind, have run this pretty well. Robbins is probably on for a top 5-ish at this rate. Jasper is ended up outside the top 10. He's half a second off of Spengler at the moment in that Renault, and he's got an Adia for company as well, and he's gonna open that big wing of a DRS down this next straight, and we'll be able to see what kind of effect it has. But I think that Spengler's going to get spent into turn 1. And oh, that's a late move if I've seen one. Spengler very late, but it forced Jasper to take a little bit of an avoiding action. But he gets away with it, and it's allowed Spengler to get a massively good exit out of that corner, and he's going to retake the position surely. He's around the outside. Well, he's well around the outside. He's gone a lot wider than he probably should have done. And I thought he'd have that position, but apparently not. But looking further forward, Welper and Parrish, the two Ferraris, are doing basically what they do in real life, in the mid-pack without really threatening, but they've got a safety car, which the two Williams have both missed. Raymouth didn't. Sancho was stupid not to take it at this point. Who the fuck is that? But we've got the safety car out, which has sprung a bit of life to this race. It's helped a few people out. Jasper will be one of them down in P12, has gone on to fresh tyres. And yeah, the front four couldn't pit because they'd already gone past the pit lane. So they were in a bit of trouble, but everyone else in behind's on fresh tyres. The front two are in massive trouble because they've got to pit again. You can't go another 13 laps on medium tyres. But AJ and they're getting absolutely screwed. But somehow it's a Ferrari 1-2 all of a sudden, and this is legitimate, by the way. I've just been telling them where they're slugging them off a little bit, but now they are leading on our tyres legitimately. AJ and Lightning both couldn't make it to the end, so they've both had to pit and go down to basically last. We've got Mustang pounding around trying to catch up, but 12th and 13th. But this could be a very interesting back in the race, because we've got the people that were always at the front. AJ and Lightning was always at the front of this pack. I mean, AJ's led this race quite a lot of it, and is now down in 12th. I mean, it's upside down. Jasper's back into P10, Skin up P9, Robbins P8, Matt Noah, who was nowhere, he spun at the start, now up in P7, Brock P6. The only person who's been fairly consistent is Raymouth in P3. He's been fairly consistent with that, but that's because he pulled off a bit of a masterstroke with the pit stop. Sancho Wiz has gone on wrong tyres, possibly. I mean, 13 laps on mediums you can do, just about. Unless he hasn't got any mediums. But I believe he does. Is the safety car in this lap? Yes it is, it's gone off in the distance. Parrish is leading the way, like he did in the pre-season race last week. All he has to do now is hold on to the lead of this race, but that's going to be extremely difficult with a lot of fast cars in behind. Spanner's gone soft tyres, which will be a bit optimistic. 12 laps on them. But why not? Oh my god, that's a corner cut and a half. And if that's not a warning, I don't know what is. We'll double check it. He's got a penalty anyway, but here we go, we're going racing into turn 1, and is anyone pouncing for a move? There's a Haas in the background of Matt Noah, who's pouncing on Nadir at the moment, and they're going side by side. Nadir keeps the position, but Matt Noah's got a nice run here into turn 3 with a beautiful camera angle there, and it looks like Matt Noah's going to clean around the outside and get that position off of Nadir on the hard tyres, and that's him up into P6. So Brock P5, Sancho Wiz P4, and it looks like Raymouth is already trying to take a bite into the Ferraris as Welper shuts the door, currently in P2, but he has just to keep his cool even if he gets out of a Raymouth. There's not a lot behind him that can scare him. Stay on board with this this battle as Spendler's going backwards, already been overtaken by AJ. Or is he? He's been re-overtaken. I think Spendler's got the position back. I think AJ went deep. I'm having a right storm down there, by the way. As Robbins and Nadir are going side by side. I don't know if Robbins has got a bit of damage or no. He's just a clean fight. He's the next one on the hit list. And Robbins will just be happy to have a bit of a fight. I'm going to go on board with Skin Up, as he's got a nice view of all this. They're going side by side. Robbins has got now an inside line. But Nadir's got a bit more of a run. But going to carry on going. I think Robbins is going to get the position here. Around the outside goes Robbins. And here goes down the inside of Skin Up Jasper. And Spendler. So it's Skin Up already outside the top 10. That's some lightning. Oh well. Anyway, the race. As Raymouth and Welper are getting quite close again. Welper's still got a position though. As there's been an incident. Oh, there's been a big incident. Nadir has spun round. Alfie's had to take avoiding action. SLR Lightning has had an absolute disaster. He's reset to track, but I can't help but thinking that's the end of his race today. And he was up into P3, P4 at some points in this race. His pace has been there, but a little bit of a stupid incident. I think Nadir span in the hairpin. I don't know if Jasper was trying to move or something. I don't know if he's got from wing damage. No. Spendler does. And Raymouth has overtaken Welpo, who's coming under threat from Sancho Wiz now. Here comes Sancho around the outside, possibly now down the inside as Welper goes defensive. Well, not really defensive, he takes the racing line. Unable to do anything as Skin Up has been overtaken by AJ. Skin Up somehow ended up back in the top 10 because of that incident. And now he's not because Mustang has decided he wants a bit of the action. And SLR Lightning isn't even last anymore because people are pitting. So he's going to carry on. And we've got a bit of a train for the lead now. And Robbins is wanting a bit of that as well in behind. And he'll be very happy with this. And it's getting very exciting at the end of this Grand Prix. I'm looking at Matt Noah and you just don't know. I know who's going to win this race pretty much. And it's probably going to be Raymouth unless penalties has anything to do with it. Parish doesn't have any, whereas Raymouth has 1. Welp has 1. Sancho Wiz has 1. Brock has none. So Parish has the penalty advantage, which will come in his favour. And it looks like Raymouth is going side by side with Parish into turn 1. I think Parish might give this one up, or will he? Into turn 1, Raymouth goes very deep, and so does Parish, but they get it turned in. And Matt Noah has made the move on Sancho Wiz, but Brock is looking at Sancho Wiz as well. Sancho is going backwards. I've got a great view of this as Robbins. As we head side by side, and it looks like Brock's going to get that position. And yeah, this is looking into a great fight as Robbins gets all over the curb and makes a bit of a mistake. Jasper's coming back into it. Brock is only 4 tenths of pound Manoa. I mean, Parish has to stay within 3 seconds, but that's looking unlikely already. It depends on how much the mediums go off, but he's already outside the DRS range, which pretty much means he's not going to get the win here today, but a podium is definitely possible. Matt Noah is smelling a podium off of Wilper as well, out of absolutely nowhere. Doesn't look like they'll race. Brock is also looking at it. Sancho is just going back quick as a hard tyre compound. We've got Robbins who fancies his chances. And he's going to put it around the outside. I mean, that's how much grip he's got. He's got so much more confidence than Sancho is. It looks like he might have to settle with P8 at this rate. Because P9 is AJ and he's way off, as Welper has overtaken Parrish for P2. So Welper fancies his chances as well. But obviously they've both got penalties. I think O'Brock hasn't got one, so the podium looks likely for him as well, even though he's in P5. But he's going for a dive bomb, and that is a big, big dive bomb. As Matt Noah can't even get it off the corner. They're going to go side by side into the hairpin. Matt Noah's inside, I think. O'Brock. Oh, and there's a spin. It's Parrish, and how unlucky is that? He went deep. Matt Noah went deep, deep, deep into the corner. But, well, he went late into the corner. He didn't go that deep, and he's lost half a front wing. Drama at the last. And now everybody else behind is sniffing blood like a Rottweiler. And O'Brock is the person who is in prime position to make something happen, as Matt Noah's on the podium, but very luckily it's allowed Welper to get away a little bit. Welp. On board with Jasper, who Matt Noah pits and peels away. Jasper's in a great position, but he can't do anything with the DRS. He's going to go late on the brakes, but he just has to sit in behind. Sancho was just trying to overtake O'Brock, which is going to be unlikely on them harder tyres. But look at Jasper, he's got a run of dreams as he heads into turn 3, and Robbins has decided that it's not his fight. And now AJ's been brought into this because Parrish is here. I mean, he got spammed, but I think he didn't lose any front wings at Parrish. Well, I think he got away with it. And he's still in P7. So he's going to collect a decent amount of points. And we are on lap 23, about to go on lap 24. Welper's lost that 3 seconds to Raymer through. It looks like he's going to claim victory here today. Jasper's going to try and change something about that as he heads into the final corner, going so much more deeper than Sancho was. Robin's just in behind. And Jasper looks in prime position to take that P4 away from Sancho. And it's going to be a done deal, I think. We check the penalties. He's got a 5-second penalty somewhere. I don't know if he actually served that or not. Sancho always has the penalty. Robbins doesn't actually have one, I don't think. There's 3 warnings, but one's a contact warning. So I think he's relying on that a little bit. So he's just running his race in the Mercedes. And it may come good for him right at the end here. We just have to wait and find out. As O'Brock is trying to close in on Welper with Jasper. They're trying to DRS train each other along. As, oh my god. Go side by side for the hairpin, Parrish and AJ. And I think AJ's got the position. For now, anyway. But Parrish is going to get it back into this turn that I can't remember. In sector 2. They're going side by side up the hill. They're going side by side pretty much all the way through the middle sector. As Robbins is still behind Sancho is, but it looks like he's gonna make a move now. We've also got F1 Mustang coming up, cruising up to the back of these guys. And here goes Robbins. And we've got the annoying rev glitch, so I'm going to get off board with him. Sancho is going to get DRS down the straight, is he? If he is, he's not using it. As Parrish is in the wall. And that is the end of his race, unfortunately. SLR Lightning is somehow in the points. Unless he's trying to bring out a safety car, but you're not going to get one at this late stage in the race. And yeah, it's going to get very interesting indeed. AJ is also closing in on Sancho, where he seems to just be going backwards. F1 Mustang is joining the party. And it's all to play for as Parrish gets DSQ'd. And I've got to say he's been molested in this after the safety car period, and he's been very unfortunate. First with Matt Noah, and then just now, I think with AJ. But with 4 laps to go this Grand Prix, it looks like Raymond has got this one covered. Welp on 12 lap old hard is somehow still in P2, but showing decent pace, even though there's softer guys behind. Oh, Brock P3 at the moment, and doesn't have any penalties, I don't believe. So that'll be a P2 for him. See what Raymond's penalties are like. That's the only thing that's going to stop him here. And he's 1 warning away from 2. I know Brock has none. So that's the only thing that can really halt Raymond at the minute. If he gets another penalty, Brock's going to win this race. And that would be pretty heartbreaking for him, since he's done so well. I mean, he put it on pole with a stunning lap. Jasper's just going late everywhere. Sancho is just keeping up with Robbins. Robbins doesn't seem to have the pace of the top 4, but he's kind of there or thereabouts. AJ's trying to put a bit of pressure on. Mustang is there, but not putting on the pressure. SLR Lightning is looking at skid up for P9, just to get a couple of points. But here we go, on lap 27, 3 laps left of this T2 race, and it's been a very good race. Brock is making the move on Welper into turn 1. They've both gone really wide. Well, Brock's even wider than Welper was, and it was on the outside. I think Welper forced that on him though. He's on the inside, he's got no overtake whatsoever. He's got Jasper to his outside. But I think Brock's going to maintain position here. He got a bit of a snap there, but he's going to keep it for now. And these 3 are going to be battling to the end now. Jasper to the outside of Brock. Jasper loses the back end, and Brock keeps position, and he's still into P3. And there isn't many more overtaking opportunities, but save your ERS while you can. That's my advice. Jasper's using his now. And it looks like he's going to position on Brock, and it looks like he has got the position on Brock, and that's him up into P3, but Brock knows he's going to get it on penalties. And I'll double check the penalty situation. Welper has 1. Jasper has quite a few. Brock has none. Robbins has none as well. So my podium at the moment, I think it's Raymond, Robbins, and Brock. Brock and Robbins, should I say, in that order. As here we go, Jasper into turn 1. He's going for a gap that doesn't really exist. And oh dear, he's in the wall. Now what's he doing? He's left the session. So that's the end of Jasper's challenge. Welper's still in P3, Brock P2 now, and Robbins P4. With Sancho is just in behind, AJ should I say, then Sancho is, who's done a great job. But Welper, 15 lap old, hard tyres, and he's in P3 still. I know he's just had an incident there. But Robbins is looking at P3 on track on Welper, and he'll be wanting it, that's for sure. And he's not got any ERS to actually use, and that's going to allow AJ to have a bit of a pop into turn 1 on Robbins. And how late on the brakes do you go? AJ gets it stopped, so does Robbins. AJ's going for an exit, he's going around the outside of turn 1 off track, if you like. Got to get away with it, a bit of wheel banging. He's heading it down the inside. Robbins says I've been forced wide, but it looks like Robbins is going to get the position on this outside. It's side by side still by these two. And now he's got the inside line. Robbins, if he's smart, oh, he's kept it around the outside, and I'm so surprised then. But here goes Sancho Wiz, who's going to try his luck around the outside, I think. But he's got him caught on the curb, so that's going to be an unavailable route for him. And this last lap is going to come alive. We've had a lot of action in this race, and it's been a really good race, to be fair. I haven't fell asleep as of yet. If anything, I've woken up to the opportunity of this race. And it looks like the podium will be O'Brock, Welper and Robbins. But coming around the final corner, we've got Rymeth, and he's going to come across the line to take a very deserved win here today. Took pole position and deserved everything he gets out of that race. And we've got O'Brock P2, Welper P3, which then becomes Robbins P3, AJ P4, Welper P5, SLR Lightning in P6. Wow, that's a roller coaster for him. Skin Up P7, Mustang P8, Sancho is down in P9, Matt Noah P10 rounds out the points. Wow. Wow. If AJ had taken Robbins on that last lap, he would have been on the podium instead of Robbins. But that's your podium for today. And what race that was. Good finish. Driver of the day, O'Brock. He came through the field quite nicely. You could argue Robbins as well. Oh, there we go. I'm not doing driver interviews. We're joining me for.
You said you would do interviews.
I would do interviews, but I don't have time because you've got to set up another lobby, you know.
Oh well. Finally, fuck's sake.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that is the end of the T2 race. Yeah, it was action-packed, to say the least. That safety car definitely threw up a few things in the end and brought it to life. And yeah, it definitely mixed things up. But I'm going to end it here because we need to set up T3 and shit. So, bye.